Dito na naman ako sa tour sa Hadeland glassware. Paano gumagawa ng glass. Okay. So last Norway na namin to, no? Pa-summer na kasi dito. Pa-summer, pa-winter na. Kaya pabalik na kami. Patapos na. Ito yung mga picture ng paggawa ng glass, no? Factory ng glass. Pupunta namin ngayon, no? May demonstration sila dito. Okay, so baka maiwan tayo ng tour. Magaganda, oh. Pwede lang mag-uwi, eh. Kaya lang, baka mabasag sa bagahe. So, we'll see. Ayan.
Glasswork is the last of the big glassworks left in northern of Europe. There are two reasons that this is very special. First of all, it started up in 1762, which makes this place more than 250 years old. And second, we have still not any machines. So everything that you will see out in the stores produced here are entirely made by hand, like you will see in the demonstration that we will give you right now. And what we are going to do is we will make a plate of about this size, a quite big one. And Peter, beside me, he has started on his pipe with a tiny piece of colored glass, melted. Are you all American? Most of you? Not all. In Fahrenheit, it is about 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit hot when they dig the glass mass out of the furnaces. This is translated into Celsius, about 1,400 degrees Celsius. Okay, so way hotter than 1,000 degrees Celsius. So this is the temperature where the material is as smooth and liquid as it has to be blown up, nearly like a rubber balloon. So what Peter has done, he has taken just the right amount, what he needs. Green is that tiny little bubble of colored green glass. On that part, he's cooling it down so you can see well how green it is. On that part, we shall build up the plate layer by layer with clear crystal, which is in the furnace here. As I told as well, Celsius degrees, 1,400. And it is about 2,700 and something in degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty hot, and at that temperature, the material has the consistence that makes it possible to be blown up approximately like a rubber balloon. In his hand, and that here we come to not having any machines, in his hands he has a bunch of wet paper leaves. This is only soaked paper, and that's the only way the glass blowers can have direct and physical contact with the work because of the temperature. Of course, he's heating it up regularly, so he keeps the temperature necessary to manipulate and transfer his work, and he's seated on that bench always at the start, because in this bucket and on this bench he has exactly what he needs to work while the bubble is at that size. Okay? And we shall build it up layer by layer, and you shall see him push and blow up the green center to fill each new layer of clear crystal. And between each time he blows and he increases the size, he will stabilize and shape and form by hand. So have that in mind when you see and when you visit our shop afterwards and you see the range that we are making here. Everything is made exactly like this. Then he cools it down again. It makes it stiff and rigid enough to support, to be digged into the phonates again, to have more crystal on the outside. We shall have on the green plate, we shall have in the center a contrast color. And this is the color that we shall put into the center. Okay, the name of that color, I hope you are seated well, it's silver dunkel gray. So, in the middle we will have this SDG. And if you follow Peter right now, you will see clearly, maybe he can have it up to you, see how the green is in the center. He has a thick layer of clear crystal around, and he will put the SDG. Why couldn't they just have blue? Anyway, into the center, and he shall melt it into the rest on the surface. So, in fact, when we will see this plate finished, our eye will give us the impression that this is one green with the other color in the center, and eventually we shall have a white spiral on the top. We will not see that between the colors there are clear crystal, layer of clear crystal between each color, because he shall blow the center all the way up to the surface. So for us, it will seem as one surface, okay? Here comes the spiral. Yeah, so they will come and do it this way. And Odd Erik, he is heating up the white part that shall be the spiral. And never stops, otherwise it will just rin off on the floor. It's nearly liquid still when he's working with it. And he's shaping it and stabilizing. And here we go for the white spiral.
Hold it.
Coming right now. It looks easy. It is even easier than it looks. These guys are specialized in art glass blowing. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it takes about between 7 to 8 years at work every day, training hours after hours before you reach that point. So maybe that's one of the reasons that it looks so easy. What do I know? I cannot even turn the pipe. That's impossible for me. Anyway, we shall melt in the white part as well. Skal du skru det og lage sånne knuter? Yes. And watch now.
Meron na siyang spiral.
You shall make some knots on the white part. And this gives a wonderful pattern in the end. You know, when you have a birch, a tree, the birch, when you cut the branches, you have some knots on the shop afterwards. It is about that impression that he's doing right now. Beautiful. And you say he's all the time watching his work. He's following it all the time. Didn't you have a nice place to make pictures? Great. Show you the mold that we are going to use. This is very high-tech things. So this is what we got. When we are blowing the plate into the mold, we will have a very equal and round balloon. The walls will be the same thickness all over, and that's why, in fact, we're using the mold. Otherwise, it is stabilized and blown the color, the center color, all the way up to fill inside the contrast color over there with the white spiral. We shall go and fetch out what we need to finish the plate. And then again, you will see, before he does, how the pattern is concentrated on the middle of the, let's call it the small balloon right now. And what you see under the balloon, which is down when it's tight like this, will be the center of the open plate later on. So the part which is on the pipe will be the edge of the plate. I'll explain it a little better in a few minutes. First of all, this is what we need to make the plate into the right size of the tools fit the size of his work. And to use the wooden shawl that he did right now is to help him a little bit to get the new layer well onto the center before he uses the soaked paper leaves. Then again, he is observing all the time. He's just looking and looking, and he sees how hot it is. He knows how much he can blow and what he can do with the temperature that it has actually right now. And you see also, he's all the time moving it, just not to lose it all and have to start on a new one. With a pair of scissors, so this is called a pair of scissors in a glass hut like this. He cut a deep mark, and this mark is the edge of the plate. So everything from the mark and onto the balloon is our plate, and now Erik is preparing the mold. We shall finish the blowing into the mold, and once he has taken it out of the mold again, the plate is finished blown. Shall I ask Peter's age? 17? How old are you, Peter? 22 before Christ. Shall we have it in Norwegian? 37. 37. And you have been a glass blower for 22 years. He has been doing this for 22 years. That's why it looks so easy. And Odd Erik, his name is Odd. And Erik as well. Odd Erik, hvor lenge har du holdt på? He has been a glass blower for 41 years. And still he is only 30 years old. Yeah, he looks like granddad, huh? Well, he's going to transform this from being a bowl until we have an open plate. So we have to get rid of the first pipe, and when he feels that the new one holds, he will give Peter a sign to knock off the one that he used to begin with. And here we go. You see how we need glass blowers doing this? Peter? Oh, okay. I just wanted to show you the small and tiny hole that he has to begin with. Do you see? It's not very big. And he has the same And now we are going to open it, little by little. Thanks to Peter. He has done the big job. And it's hot. And he'll come back later and finish it with Eric, of course. And now, this is an old technique. If I told you that this has been going on like this here for 251 years right now, we celebrated 250 years last year. In Italy, for instance, they have been blowing wine glasses for 900 years. Yeah, that's impressive. And when I tell you that these are the same methods coming up further north, when the ice melted, people were going up north and ended up here. 200 from France, from Central Europe, from Germany, and they brought with their knowledge up here. And since that, we have continued the same procedures. So, the heating, the temperature, letting the temperature smoothen up the material, and the speed of rotation makes this opening procedure little by little under Eric's hand, stabilizing it and following it. And watch carefully. You will see, you will see it one more time. En gång till. Two more times. You will see this as a bowl. Now we don't have a balloon anymore, we have a bowl. And he will open it approximately as wide as the lowest part, the widest part. When you have the sides opened at the same size, he shall open it completely into the flames. So you shall watch carefully, because it comes quite quick when he starts, and I will tell you to watch. Get your picture ready right in 2 seconds. The last time you will see it is this one. You see how it changed? And when you have seen this for the last time, I feel that I don't want to say anything more before just listening to you yawning, because here it comes very quick. Be aware. He's taking it out from the fire and spinning it out until we have a completely flat and opened plate. And here it comes. You see that? And as I told you, the bottom of the bowl is now inside the top of the plate, making the edges with some simple piece of wood, and we have a beautiful, beautiful plate. And of course, when you follow the procedures as I told you, we cannot ever make two things exactly the same. Everything, even wine glasses, even dinner plates, will always be a little different one from each other. And that's the point with it. This is handcraft. This is old traditions. This is history that we want. And we are struggling, believe me, to keep it going on every day. We shall melt off the mark left by the last pipe as well. And he shall leave a tiny mark left. He don't take all the way. That tells you that this is a handmade plate from the old way of doing it. And if you can't see anything, no mark at all, then you can be sure that it's just pressed into an automatic machine. This is not the way we are doing it, so you should always feel the little mark from the last pipe in our art class series. The colors will be brighter and clearer once it's cooled down completely. Do you see the knots? How beautiful they are when they twist it like that. And of course, one of a kind, a little piece of art each and every time. He shall put it into the cooling system where it will remain for about 18 hours, 16 to 18 hours. the thickness. So this is a plate that we shall see tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
Sila yung gagawa ng baso nila. Amaze na amaze yun.
If you want to go directly to where we are going to have our refreshments and where you find us,
Yep, yun yung mga patapos ng glass. Okay. Then, ito yung mga picture nila. Ganda, sulit. Punta natin yung Norway, oh. Punta natin yung isang shop pa niya na bilihan. Okay. Wow. Yung mga finished product mo. Yung kanina ginawa. Ganda, no? Mga handmade glass. Isang nice. Ay, group number 6? Group number 6? No. Mga mahal na lang. Wala tayong pambili. Wala tayong pera. Bye-bye.